Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's Semi-Original Guy, aka Mr. Cannon from AWBW, bringing you another live league game of the day. Today we are on Raptus Regulator. This is a high funds matchup with triple base, airports and comm towers, labs instead of HQs, and a very interesting dynamic to this matchup because we actually have a silo, which could potentially be used, because the only thing that's stopping you from using that silo is this pre-deployed cruiser carrier. Pre-deployed carrier, that's the one that we have right here. So very interesting matchup indeed-o. So we have DarthNoob7 and Slame today. So DarthNoob7 is you know, he's one of the best to ever do it, folks. He's one of the best to ever do it. And Slame is very, very active on the live scene, so we're going to have a very interesting matchup here today. Now, DarthNoob, he has actually chosen Grit today. So Grit, as a day-to-day ability, will get +1 range and +20% attack on his indirect units. He will also lose 20% firepower on all of his units, excluding foot soldiers. Now, his snipe attack will increase that indirect range by 1, and the snipe, or super snipe, super co-power, will increase that range by 2. So Grit has a lot of potential to be a very devastating CO. Now, when it comes to high funds, he is a little bit lower on the tier list. So his opponent today is Von Bolt. So as we know, Von Bolt will get +10% firepower and defense on all of his units. Does not have a normal co-power, but does have a super co-power Ex Machina that will launch a Area 3 missile, which will do 3 damage and stun anything that gets hit by that missile. Alrighty, folks. So those are our COs, those are our players, this is our map. So let's go ahead and see what went down in the live league today. So on the first few days, folks, we have our standard. Actually, no, we have no infantry builds because this is high fun, so absolutely no infantry builds today. But we do have infantry builds now. So high funds tends to get it's a little bit slower on the setup due to the having to capture your bases and everything. But once we get rolling, folks. That is 100% for sure. Now the carrier is like, it's such an interesting dynamic to this matchup because the players will not be able to build air units at all unless the carrier is taken care of. But the other thing is, if the carrier is taken care of, that is literally 30,000 battle damage to the power. So that would instantly charge up a co-power for, let's say, Grit. Right? And for Von Bolt, it would charge up like 3 bars of a co-power. So it would get him, you know, roughly about 30% of the way. A little bit more than 30%, because you would actually get the 15,000 from destroying it as well. Maybe, if you destroy the other one. So if it gets destroyed, it's 30,000. So yeah, if you destroy it, it could potentially charge an early co-power, which may or may not be good. So depending. Obviously, it just depends on the board state at the moment. So, DarthNoob, you know, going for the standard Grit strategy of let's get the artillery on the field and have a jolly old time. So, because he is fighting against Von Bolt here, his direct combat units are going to be absolute garbage against Von Bolt. So, Von Bolt manages to get any sort of terrain, the direct combat units are going to be doing absolutely nothing. Like, nothing. Just, it's gonna be bad. Okay, so what Grit is gonna have to do is he is gonna have to build a couple direct combat units to use as shields, but mostly he's just going to have to really play around the artillery and get them into really critical spots in order to start firing. But Slame doing a fantastic strategy at the moment. He's actually just 100% just going for it here. He's just sending his units forward. Interrupts a cap right here. It will get counterattacked by a tank hit, but it's not really gonna be like that much, you know. It's gonna be okay. You know, it's gonna do some damage, but I mean, we interrupted the cap, and we're gonna take very little battle damage in response. Oh, so yeah, okay. Actually, this is really good too. So I kind of missed that actually. So Slame made a little bit of a tactical error right here. So he moved a tank right here, which is actually in range of Grit's firepower right here. So that's a big oops. That is a big no-no indeed. So managed to take a big hit there and does a hit right here, which does a fairly okay trade here, all things considered. So 5-7, not too shabby at all. Builds a stinky old Neo tank already. Day 9 stinky Neo tank on the field. Now, for Grit, it's kind of needed because, like I said, his direct combat units are just going to be absolute garbage. So he's gonna need something. He's gonna need something. Unfortunately, he goes for the stink instead of the class, but maybe he'll redeem himself later. Who knows? All right, so Slame also busting out the stinky Neo tank. So we got double stink on the field at the moment. Lots and lots of firepower. Neo tank goes down and just obliterates this infantry right here. But you can see like the damage here, right? So technically, this is about 140% defense. Versus like what is it, like 80% firepower or something? Yeah, that's it's not too good at all. But so far, all things considered, DarthNoob's position is actually looking pretty good. He managed to get a little bit of a foothold over here, but I mean slowly Von Bolt's units are pushing up here, and we did actually take a shot down here at the carrier, so we are gonna have air units very, very soon, and possibly even an early missile silo attack. So I am super curious to see what this missile silo is going to be all about on this map here, because we hardly, you never see it. You never see a missile silo actually used in any sort of competitive play. So yeah, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. Got another stinky Neo tank on the field, and we got some engagements over here on the right hand side. Interrupted a cap right here. Ended up paying for it pretty badly here with this infantry, but has enough artillery in position right now that we can actually interrupt this cap here in the middle, and we can further interrupt this cap. So, you know, not too bad, all things considered, but there's a lot of tanks in position right now to actually move in. So I do kind of fear for those artillery. However, with the dreaded stinky Neo tank, you know, on the way over here, I wouldn't really worry about them too much, that's for sure. Alright, moves the infantry down to continue a cap with a fresh infantry, builds more artillery, and busts out the classy medium tank on day 11 here, folks. There we go, that's what I'm talking about. Now, DarthNoob not going for that carrier at all. So he doesn't want air units. That's just, he doesn't want them. Absolutely doesn't want them, because this is in range, right? Yeah, it's in range. Of course it's in range. Why would it not be? It just doesn't want air units. It's just, it's not in his game plan. He just, it feels like he doesn't need them at all. This is looking like a good little death ball up here. I mean, it's perfectly covered too, because we have the back artillery, we got this forward artillery, we got an artillery right here. It's like Slame is gonna have to make some very critical decisions here on how to approach this situation. But the one thing that is very, very dangerous at the moment is, like I said, Slame now has access to that silo, and he's got a classy boy of the sky double recon infantry build to go along with it here. Very cool. Now, recon's super effective against, you know, Grit. Recons just counter artillery so well. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with these guys here. Classy boy moving up, another stinky Neo tank on the field, moving the infantry around, forming the death ball in the middle here now. So now we have pretty good coverage around the entire map here, and we are very close to having a super co-power, so that will be additional +2 range to all of these indirect here. But lots of Grit players tend to go the route of what do you call it? Using the co-power over the super co-power, because it's basically, it's like the exact same firepower pretty much, and you just get extra charge, so you get another one like very quickly afterwards. But I think Slame is doing a very good thing here, actually doing the classy boy of the sky chain, because Grit is not going to be able to attack those bombers at all. He's going to be forced to start building more and more anti-air, or even possibly a dreaded missile. He can't build a carrier effectively now because we're already in range of this port right here, so we will not be seeing that However, at the moment, like, the income is fairly even. I mean, 34 to 34. See, this map might not actually be too bad for grip because we can zone out these labs pretty good and might be able to get a double capture on them, but the problem is the second Ex Machina hits, it is going to be absolutely dreadful for for crit, because like, what is it? Grit's like main thing is being able to death ball, right? And what does the Ex Machina do? It targets the death ball and it just obliterates it. So if he gets a very good, well-timed Ex Machina and it, like, let's say cripples like the entire like artillery chunk, like let's say it hits this chunk over here, right? I mean, it would be absolutely brutal. But I mean, considering that we have a huge amount of stink balls on the field here, the Ex Machina is definitely going to be targeting the stink balls. Oh, and we have our silo launch. Oh, would you look at that? Would you just look at it, folks? What a massive hit with that silo. Let's instant replay that again because I've never actually seen this before happen. Oh, okay, there we go. Brutal, absolutely brutal, absolutely devastating. Follows it up with a snipe attack. Okay, so we got the snipe attack. We have at least one hit. We have one hit. This can hit like a 1 HP unit, so that's not really like super effective. Could potentially hit a recon, could hit a tank. We probably will be taking out a tank right here. I think this is kind of a lackluster snipe attack, if I'm going to be honest. I don't really see like too many effective hits that we can do with it. But maybe DarthNoob has a plan, you know. Builds a fighter. Interesting. Very cool. Yeah, so that's not bad. Like I said, yeah, I'm not really like... I don't think that we got like a huge amount of value from that, that snipe attack. But I don't know, I guess it was okay. I mean, we're in a very good position over here, and like this Ex Machina, it's gonna hit like right here. That's my guess. My prediction is if he goes for the Ex Machina this turn, which in all reality he definitely should, because if it does hit here, then that's gonna be absolutely huge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, that's gonna be actually extremely huge. Because it would stun, like, I think it's gonna hit like here. No, it'd probably be focused on this. Maybe focus here. Maybe focus here. I don't know. We're gonna see though. Now, I'm hoping that Slame actually goes in for the attack this turn, because like I said, it's gonna be absolutely devastating. We got Neo Tank onto Medium Tank right here. So Stink Ball onto Classy, and considering it's Von Bolt, it's gonna be absolutely devastating, and it's gonna be like more than enough to charge our Ex Machina, and then once we launch the Ex Machina, we can play accordingly after that point. Now let's see if we go in for that attack or not. Classy Bullet of the Sky attacking an infantry. Oh, why do we do that? Okay, so we do it so we can break, and then we pop Ex Machina, and it's gonna hit here, right? Okay, so it hits down here. I guess that's got an extra infantry, right? So I'm still kind of surprised it didn't hit over here. Oh, well, either way, not really a big deal. I probably, like I said, I would have just went up with the medium tank. Like, was there another like option that we could have did here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, why would we go in with Neo and do that? Just seems kind of weird. Because we could go in with like, so we can go with like tank, and that would probably clear. Then Neo clears this, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get another attack. Oh well, whatever. It's not important either way. I mean, I guess this is fine because we get to attack this anyways. I guess Neo doesn't get hit over here, so I don't know. Whatever, it's fine. Alright, so Ex Machina, blast it down. and we launch another. Okay, so we get one Ex Machina, and then we get a silo hit right here. Shabam. Massive damage over here, folks. Massive damage. Okay, so this should probably clear this, like, no problem. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Could have potentially started cap on the lab. It's not really, like, super necessary, but maybe could have did that. Yeah, predicted that hit right there. Alright, clear the stink ball. Very nice. Double battlecopters on the field. 1 HP tank going up and doing no damage. That's what life is all about right there, folks. It's like, how's your day going? That attack right there. That's it. Alright, day 15, DarthNoob's turn. Still has 134,000 value at the moment. If he does like a really, I mean, he only needs like 5k. So if he does like 1 or 2 attacks here, then he should get another snipe attack, and that snipe attack will do nothing. Okay, so that's not good. That's not good at all. Ah, stupid Von Bolt defense, man. He's too tough. He's too tough. I swear to God, he's so strong. Okay. The old double hit right there, not too bad. Yeah. This is unfortunate. So yeah, this is another reason why Grit's direct combat units are just absolutely garbage against Von Bolt here. So technically this is about 20% defense due to the co-power, right? So we only do like 4 damage, get counterattacked by 5. I mean, we are on a road, but like come on, man. That's rough. That's a rough one right there, folks. We got the Neo tank build, we got the anti-air build, we got another artillery build right here. So I mean, it's not looking too bad, but we don't really have a lot of counter to these guys. I mean, we do have anti-air. He does have a fighter, but I mean, he doesn't have to fight over by the fighter. But one of the big problems here is Slame has not built any anti-air. Like, maybe he did build an anti-air earlier, but I don't remember seeing an anti-air. It's day 15. Like, do we have an anti-air? No. So we have no anti-air. So we have no response to... We have no response to the fighter. So the fighter is going to be able to pick off our bombers like no problem. And if we go in and attack recklessly, we will get picked off by artillery, and we will get picked off by these stink balls here. So, I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. Alright, we're going to go in. We're just going to continue clearing stink balls. Okay. Oh, lordy. Look at this attack right here. So, I think Slame spotted a great move here. Does a double clear, another clear on an artillery, and then sacks the bomber. Take out another artillery. So that basically takes out like all of DarthNoob's like actual like firepower here. He's got 2 artillery left on the field that are like in position to do something. This guy's not even really in position. He's got like 1 attack here, maybe 2, but like this guy's, I mean, he just got built. He's got to move. We got 1. We have 1 anti-air strike, possibly 2 to be able to maybe come close to clearing this. It probably will clear, but I think it might survive with 1. We do have another. We got the fighter. I mean, the bombers are probably going down. And then we have an artillery and a Neo strike on this Neo, which should come pretty close to taking that out. If it doesn't, we can loop around and do another attack right here. But then we got to contend with this guy over here. But we could surround him. Surrounding it might get broken. Ugh. Oh my god, we go up with a tank and just strike that Neo. Wow. Von Bolt things, man. Von Bolt things. Yeah, just absolutely no fear in the face of this Grit right now. So Slame is just getting up there. Alright, so DarthNoob pops the snipe attack. No way of clearing this right now. So that is quite devastating. That's quite devastating right there. Okay, so we do clear and we get another bomber clear. So we did take out 2 bombers. Very nice. That's like 44,000 value just gone in an instant right there. And we did get an attack on 1 Neo here, so that's like not too bad. Builds another Neo. Okay, so now this is not looking too bad. So because Slame went up and he pushed in super far, he did get counterattacked pretty heavily. But he's Von Bolt, and he's got an Ex Machina coming up here. I mean, it's very likely he'll be able to charge this Ex Machina, especially with these Neo tanks available for doing the attacks here. But I mean, it's definitely hitting over here. There's like no doubt about it. So if he does stun this area over here, it's going to be quite brutal, as they say. Oh god, would you look at it? Oh lord. See, if I was a DarthNoob at the moment and I saw that happen, I would probably be panicking a little bit. But you know what? There's not really that much that we have available to continue the attack over here. So let's see what he actually does manage to do. Stunning the units is fantastic though. So we did clear a few of them in the front here. We do have a Neo available for an attack right here. I mean, we can't attack with the artillery. That's one of the other problems when it comes to grit on maps. You know, if we build artillery, well, we got to move the artillery first before we can attack. So we don't ever get that immediate reinforcement. Grit is 100% a setup CO. Okay, so we did counterattack a little bit here, push them back, and this is not looking super strong at the moment. Yeah, it is looking a little bit weak, so we might have to pull back. I mean, if Slame continues the attack right here, it could be very bad. But at the same time, you don't want Grit to set up. You kind of have to be very aggressive against Grit in order to beat him. Okay, so maybe Slame is just going to continue the attack and just keep pushing him back and then slowly just grab like the middle properties. I mean, he is trying to capture a lab right now. Takes a double hit on an anti-air right there. Does clear 1 Neo tank. We did build an anti-air though, so that's solid. I'm feeling pretty good about that anti-air. Not feeling too hot about the position of the anti-air because it is going to be sort of shot down here, but I mean, not like totally shot down. It's going to take a hit, but Neo tank's not going to be able to come in here. But he's got some options though. I mean, this fighter is going to be huge for the next little while because we're going to be able to harass the battle copters. Won't get any clears on the battle copters, but we'll be able to attack and attack. Yeah, you know what? It's looking a little rough. A little rough. 30 to 16 kind of rough, but this is Grit, so we'll see. And he's being played by DarthNoob. DarthNoob is a heck of a player, right? So let's see. So we use the snipe attack. We do have no attacks. No attacks with these guys. That is very unfortunate that we don't have any attacks with these guys over here. So this is a 2 attack, snipe attack from over here only. So we can hit the anti-air. Oh, so we go in with the Neo and attack. Very, very interesting. And we attack the artillery, attack the infantry, attack the tank, and then we move those guys in a little bit closer. Okay. Base lock ourselves to attack an infantry. Okay, so that's like, it's not the worst thing to attack the infantry because that means he won't be able to get a 2 cap here, but the problem is, like, Slame, Von Bolt, he's going to be able to go in with like copter, tank, cover base this turn. So that's going to be pretty good. But this Neo tank is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Neo tank's not actually in position to dislodge that property like right away. So we might be seeing a base lock here that could potentially go for at least like 2 days. And we go in with the battlecopter. Okay, so that's like not too bad. Not too bad. And we do have 2 more Neo strikes here. 2 more stink ball attacks. I think we're not going to go for the 2 stink ball attacks on stink balls. Okay. Yo, never mind. We're going to go for at least 1 of them, though. We go for 1 of them. This guy's sitting at 2. Would you just look at that? He's feeling the hurt. And we block it even further. Is that a... No. It's not a full surround. Interestingly enough, though, if this fighter does go in and does the attack, we can actually join our battlecopters together and hold that for, like, another day. And considering with 29 to 17 right now, the more unit value, or the more of a unit lead that Von Bolt can get here, the better. Now, the unfortunate thing is he's actually running really low on time. He's only got 3 minutes 19 seconds on the clock, whereas DarthNoob has 18 minutes and 32 seconds. So he's been very, very efficient with his time management here. Fighter actually doesn't go for the attack over here, which is kind of interesting. So what is going to be the plan to dislodge that property? That's the question here. So we use the snipe attack. And we finally get a lot of value out of all the artillery. Okay, so every single artillery actually attacked this time. So we got 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, and beautiful. So we got all 5 attacked. We cleared decap and infantry right here. So yeah, that's not looking too bad. And we're about to get our builds right here. So we build another fighter, build an anti-air. This is not bad now. So we can actually get the base back. So Von Bolt doesn't really have a lot to attack with over here. Like he's got 1 Neo, 1 stink ball in the face of these 3. Technically 4, but this guy's kind of like, he's little. What is he gonna do? What is he gonna do indeed? That is the question. Alright, so we remove the battlecopter. Take out some infantry, attack the stink ball once again. Move the 1 HP stink ball onto this property, so that guy's not going to be dislodged at all. We're only like a little less than 4K away from a power, so it is actually possible to get a power right now too. Power would hit right here, and that would actually be not too bad. Oh my god, if the power does hit there, it's going to stun both Neo tanks, it's going to stun the fighter, it's going to stun the battlecopter. Ooh, and you know what? That would be very bad. Like, that would probably be like game ending kind of bad. All he really has to do is, like, he could potentially go up with like a mech and attack this guy from the mountain. That would probably do it. Oh, he doesn't go for it. I think that would be absolutely devastating if he went for that. Okay, well, he's going to hold on to it. So, you know, having some patience as Von Bolt is not necessarily a bad thing. Because if you do go and yeet your entire army to get a sneaky Ex Machina, well, then technically you have no army left. So that is kind of a problem. So, yeah, I guess that's fine. But this would have been absolutely devastating. Like, we would have stunned that. Like, the artillery would be able to fire, but these guys would not be able to fire at all. And that would give us enough time to maybe get the anti-airs up to take out the fighter. Like, that's totally possible. But instead, the Neos are able to move in. It's unfortunate. So this is one of the other things with Von Bolt. So before you pop the Ex Machina, make sure to always check your move planner, because if your Ex Machina is going to hit some of your units, then you got to get your units out of dodge, because they are going to get stunned along with the opponent's units too. So let's say that it hits here, right? So it's going to stun your Neo, and it's going to stun your tank, and might even stun this tank depending on where the missile is targeting. So just make sure to get those guys out of the way like that. Perfect. So Slame well aware of the situation here. And we still stun those units here, so that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. But now he's got a fighter over here and 2 anti-air. So we can't bring the battlecopters efficiently over here to start harassing that middle. So that is kind of unfortunate. We begin capture on the property over here, just out of anti-air range too, so that's quite wonderful. Let me go in with a lot of the weakened tanks and just do some extra damage here. I probably would have put this bomber on this property. Like I probably would have put it there because there is like the slight possibility that DarthNoob might build like a battleship from here. I mean, if he does, I mean, it's just gonna get hit by a bomber, but I mean, at least you prevent that from happening, right? Alright, so Von Bolt builds the fighter. The fighter of legend has arrived here. The Blue Moon fighter. Perfect. That is going to be able to be super effective against that little old fighter over here that has been just completely harassing this side. Well, this one is the one that's been harassing. He's at 4 HP now, but he has done work. He has definitely done work, folks. Alright, another Neo, bomber, fighter, infantry. So this is sort of turned into just a direct combat fight. So DarthNoob fighting at a huge disadvantage when it comes to direct combat for sure. Nice, nice. That's actually a pretty good move. So we lose the bomber potentially, but we stop any chance of him interrupting this further. So we're gonna get at least another cap here, 100%. So that's pretty cool indeed. Ooh, I wonder why we wouldn't. I guess like he knows that this guy's coming, but okay. So he's gonna get one more cap. It's gonna be at 2, unless he double hits it. He actually gets it, so that's gonna be really good. I mean, at this point, DarthNoob is going to need a double hit on this infantry once it joins in order to actually acquire that or interrupt that property capture. So, oh yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about, guys. You got to cover those flipping ports, otherwise battleships are going to just appear out of nowhere. Do you see this too? Like, DarthNoob at the moment, he's just like, he sees this port, so he's like, his mouse is like hovering over this port, and he's like, oh man, I'm going to build the biggest battleship. Build the biggest battleship of all time right here. Boom! There it is. The biggest battleship of all time. The DarthNoob7 battleship. Just a honest to God work of art. Alright, folks. We got another co-power here from DarthNoob. Let's see what he manages to do with this one. Double strikes the Neo tank. Comes in, finishes off one little battlecopter, finishes off a few tanks. Was that a Neo? Ooh, get rid of another stink ball. Another stink ball is destroyed here today. And then goes up and clears a bunch of other guys here. So not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. So, board state at the moment. Pardon me. Technically, Slame is ahead by one property because he did manage to capture one of the labs. But considering we just had a big clear on units over here, and we cleared the bombers, so this battleship is gonna have a good time. He's gonna have a good time here pretty soon. It's day 22. Von Bolt has joined cap, so he's got 2 HP left on this guy here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so the only way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, the only way that we can do this is if we bomber and battleship this guy right now. So that is the only way that we can interrupt that capture. Oh, but Slame being super sneaky over here, taking advantage of the chaos, and is actually moving an infantry into position to capture that lab over here on the left hand side. However, DarthNoob does have an infantry in position to cover it here, but Slame's got backed up by a tank, and another infantry is coming up here. And like I said, there is a very good possibility we are going to be acquiring this base here. Or, no, we're not going to acquire this base. Was a possibility before the battleship showed up, but now that the battleship is here, this guy is not going to be acquired. We are going to be seeing bomber battleship clear on that guy instantly. Yeah, don't even muck around with that situation. Build a flippin' mega tank out of that property, I swear to God. He builds an anti-air. That's fine. Yeah, mega tanks. Okay, so yeah, we're in danger over here. We are definitely gonna do something here. We move 2 artillery over, build another fighter, and we end the turn because we have 19 units and we don't really have to move a whole lot. But considering that Slame was ahead like 30 to 16 at one point, and now the game is even, it does show that Grit is somebody to, you know, fear when it comes to playing against him, because he does have a lot of potential. But High Funds, like I said, he is a little bit weaker. That is for sure. But I think it's mostly DarthNoob himself, because DarthNoob he's like a tremendous player. So he's been able to hold out for such a long time, fighting at like a huge deficit, because he didn't even really get a whole lot of value out of a lot of his you know, snipe attacks. So yeah, it was quite lackluster for some of them, but I'd say like maybe 2 of them were actually pretty good. So he uses the Ex Machina, but ends up stunning his own classy medium tank here, which is very unfortunate. That guy's not going to be able to do anything anymore. But it's looking okay for most of the other map here. So let's see, are we going to go in? No, so we're not going to go in and capture the lab, because that is absolute suicide. Excuse me, we are just going to try to capture the property, but it's in range. Like, yeah, that's not going to happen either. So we're going to super snipe. Super snipe. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We're going to super snipe. And we got 2 attacks. Let's do it. Let's do them. Oh, yeah. And we resign. Perfect. Absolutely beautiful gameplay over here from Slame and DarthNoob. Slame, congratulations on the win. DarthNoob, you fought hard. Just honestly, Grit is just very difficult to play in High Funds, and this matchup in particular is very, very difficult for him. But at the same time, Slame, I think, had the idea from the beginning, though. I mean, when it comes to fighting Grit, you cannot lay back and just let things happen. You have to go up and get things done. Like, first, he goes up and attacks here, and then he just does not stop. He does not give Grit any breathing room at all. He just attacks. Well, not that turn, but after that, yeah. Okay, so from like we had a little bit of attacking at the beginning, which is fine. But then like day 14 onward, it's just attack. And just violence, just pure violence, like non-stop. That's it. And that's how you beat Grit. You just attack. And that's the way it goes, folks. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. I thought it was pretty cool because, you know, you don't really get to see too many Grit games. I don't think I've actually ever casted a Grit game on my channel at all, so this might be the first one. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, consider leaving a like, a comment, or subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye for now.